Objects. In JavaScript, objects are fundamental data types that represent a collection of related data and functionality. They are used to store key value pairs, where keys are strings or symbols, and values can be of any data type, including other objects, functions, arrays, or primitive values like string, numbers, and booleans. Objects in JavaScript can be created using object literal, constructor functions, or the class keyword, which was introduced in ES6. At their core, JavaScript objects are containers storing related data and functionality. But that deceptively simple task is extremely powerful in practice. We have been using the power of objects all along, but now it's time to understand the mechanics of object and start making our own. Now let's start creating an object. Objects can be assigned to variables just like any other JavaScript types. We use curly braces to designate an object literal. So if I go here and write const person equal and curly braces console log type of person, let's see what type of data this is. We can see this data, this person is a data type of an object. Now let's put some values inside it. Let's just say this is a person. I'm going to store information about that person in this object. So I'm going to write name. It is going to be John. Age is going to be 30. Is student is going to be false. Greet is going to be function. And in that function, I'm going to write console log hello name. Now let's see what it shows us. So I can see that we are getting all the information here. So in this object, I can write a string, number, boolean, function, anything that I want. And this portion here is called keys, and this is the value. The age is key, and this is value. Key, value, key, value. So object stores information in key value pairs. Now, I want to access the information. How do I do that? Let's say I want to access the name only. I don't want the whole object. I want to access the name. In this case, we can use the dot notation. I can just write person dot name and it should show me the name only. So I can see the name here is shown. Now, if I want to see age, I can just write age here and it is going to show me the age as well, name and age. If I want to see if that person is a student or not, I can write is a student. It is giving me false. Now, if I want to greet that person, how do I do that? I can just write person, then greet. This is a method, and now I'm going to call it. Let's see what it shows me. Name is not defined. So write this undefined. It is showing me hello. So I made a mistake here. here you can see that it is showing me a console log. Also, I'm using console log here. So what is the mistake? You can see here I'm getting undefined because it is not getting anything. So if I remove this and now I'm not getting that undefined. And if I want to use the name here, I can just write this dot name. So in this object, whatever the name is, use that name. So you can see that this means this object. So in this object, whatever the name is, use that. Now it should show me hello, then the name, hello John. See, it is showing me hello John. Now we can access this using the dot notation. We can use another way to access the variables or the properties. So remove this. I can use the bracket notation as well. To do that, I need to write this person, this object name, and then if I write the name, let's see what it shows me. It is giving me the name. It is giving me the value of it. So whenever I'm writing this here, it is returning me the value. And if I want to find age, I'm just putting the key name here. So it should give me the value of it. Now we can access the name age. How do I access a method, the function inside a object? To do this, I can just write person, then the method name, and then I'm going to call it. Let's see it if it shows or not. Yes, this is now giving me hello John. Now let's learn about property assignment. Once we have defined an object, we are not stuck with all the properties we wrote. Objects are mutable. It means that we can update them after we create them. We can use either dot notation or bracket notation and the assignment operator to add new key value pairs to an object or change an existing property. So let's change the name here. To do that, if I just write person dot name, it is going to be Sina instead of John. Let's see what the name is right now. So the name has changed to Sina. Instead of age 30, if I want to, let's just say person, then age, I want to change it to 50. What is going to be the age? Now age has changed to 50. So this is how we can change the values of an object. Two things to keep in mind here. If the property already exists on the object, whatever the value it held before that will be replaced with the newly assigned values. If there was no property with that name, a new property will be added to the object. So if I want to add a property, I can say person dot profession and write wrestling. Now let's see what it shows me. Um, Let me change them and console log person. Now we can see that a new key value pair has been added where the key is profession and the value is wrestling. It was not initially here, but we can just add it by using this method. Now, if I want to delete it, I can just say delete delete person dot profession. Now I can see that there is no such thing as profession. It has been deleted. So we can delete properties from object as well. Now let's learn about methods. What is a method? When the data stored in an object is a function, we call that a method. A property is what an object has, while a method is what an object does. Now, if I say that profession console log, hello, I am a wrestler, then this is called a method. This is called a method. A property is what an object has. So these are the properties, but what an object does, that is called a method. And we can invoke these methods. We can say the person, then profession, and then call it. Let me clear this. And if I call it, I can see that this thing has been printed. Hello, I'm a wrestler. Now, let's talk about nested objects. In application code, objects are often nested. An object might have another object as a property, which in turn could have a property that's an array or even more objects. So, let's turn our this object into a nested object. So, I'm going to remove this portion and then I'm going to give another object. In this object, I'm going to write title. I'm going to give wrestler. Then I'm going to give a salary is going to be 50,000. And then I'm going to write a method function. Hello, I am this dot name and my profession is this dot title. Now let's see what the object looks like. So this is what the object looks like right now. Now, how do we access its properties? Let's say I want to access the title here. So I'm going to write person, then go to profession, then go to title. So it is giving me the wrestler. Now, if I want to print this method, I can just write create, remove the console log, and it is showing me that I am profession and is not a wrestler. Here we can see that this thing is undefined. Now, if I hover over this, we can see that this is now referring to that this object only. It is showing the key values of this object only. Now, if I want to access this name, so I have to write person dot name. Now it is showing the name and the profession. So this is only going to show the things of that object only. Now let's loop through objects. Loops are programming tools that repeat a block of code until a condition is met. We learned how to iterate through arrays using their numerical indexing, but the key value pairs in object aren't ordered. JavaScript has given us alternative solution for iterating through objects with the for in syntax. So let's use the for in syntax to loop through this array, loop through this object. So loop through the properties of the person object. So we are going to use for and then this. Inside that, we are going to write let key in person. So by using this, we are going to get access to all the keys in that object. So if I write key, let's see what it shows me. So it is giving me name all the key names, name, age, student, profession. I'm getting the now access of all the keys. Now, inside that key, we can see that these are normal keys, but this one is an object. So let's go through that as well. If type of person key equals object, then go to another loop for let inner key in person key, then I'm going to console log something. Inner key person, then key, then inner key. Let's see what it shows me. So I can get access of all the things in that. I can get access all the things in this object here. Now I can also put else console log, else shouldn't be here, else should be here, else console log key, then it is going to be person key. So it is giving me the whole function here. So what I'm doing here, this one is giving me the key and this one is giving me the value of that key. So name, John, and everything else. And if it is a function, I'm also getting the things in that function. See, you cannot see the profession here because by using this loop and these conditions, I can iterate over them as well. With this, we can conclude the chapter for objects.